I have a question that I would like to ask you today. Are you praying that your eyes open before they're closed? Are you praying that your eyes become open before your eyes close? And somebody may say, what are you talking about? I want you to think about your life, and I want you to think about the very things that you may do in this life. Some things that you may be on the fence about to say, you don't know if they're right or wrong. It could be some things in your life that you just know that they're wrong, but you may think that you have more time than you think. One thing is for sure in this life is that everybody's eyes is going to close and every knee is going to bow. And we have to get our life together. It says in the word of God that absent from the body is present with God. Absent from the body, we're present with God. But just because we're present with God, it doesn't mean that we're going to get to live with God. Are you going to get to live with him, or will you here depart from him? Think about your life. What is it that's going on in your life that you think it may be okay, but you're not sure is it okay? See, if society tells you it's okay, the world says it's okay, but God is saying it's not okay. And we must remember that we have to make sure that God says this stuff is okay. Not what society says is okay, not what man says is okay, not what the president says is okay, but what does a holy God says is okay? What is it that your eyes need to be open to with the very things that you're doing? Maybe you're one of those people who feel like it's nothing wrong with cussing. Maybe you're one of those people who feel like it's nothing wrong with me drinking. I'm not hurting nobody. Maybe you're one of those people who feel like you can go out and you can do what you want to do. Maybe you're one of those people who feel like, hey, it's nothing wrong with me going to the casino. Maybe you feel like, hey, it's nothing wrong with me dressing half naked. It's nothing wrong with me wearing tight clothes. It's nothing wrong with me selling drugs. It's nothing wrong with me watching pornography. It's nothing wrong with me laying in that same sex relationship. It's nothing wrong with me laying around with how many men and women that I want to lay around with and never want to get married. Maybe you're one of those people that say I can have how many kids I want to have and I don't ever have to get married. I want you to be real. And I want you to realize that one day when our eyes close, we have to be right when we stand before the one true and living God. Nobody else but God. We have to be right when we stand before him and not them. Ask yourself the question, the things that you're doing, who told you those things are okay? Did you tell yourself they was okay? Did your mama say they was okay? Did your friends say they was okay? But have you ever prayed to God and asked God, was they okay? See, you got some man, just like you got some woman who probably feel like it doesn't matter that I'm married. I can come in when I want to come in. I can talk to my mate any kind of way. I can treat my kids any kind of way. Some people feel like as long as they're paying all the bills in the house, they can do what they want to do. Could that very well be you? I want you to think about the things that you do. You have some woman who feel like, hey, it's my body. If I want to have an abortion, I can have an abortion. But I ask you on today, what is it that God says is okay? We have to look at the things that we're doing in our life. And could those very things stop you from getting into the gate? And it's time for us to figure these things out before it's too late. Because when our eyes close, it's too late. Go to God and seek God that your eyes are open when you go before God. It's time to seek him and say, God, open my eyes to anything that's not like you. It can be people you deal with, the places you go, the things you do. When do you finally get to a point and say, Lord, if it doesn't uplift you, I gotta be through. If the things that I'm doing is going to block me from meeting you, I must be through. I got to start letting any and everything go that don't represent you. It's time to go to God and say, God, open my eyes before my eyes close, because a lot of us need to have our spiritual eyes open. We understand that the physical eyes are open, but our spiritual eyes must be open. When I started to seek God, to have a true relationship with God, he opened up my spiritual eyes along with my physical eyes. And when God opened up your spiritual eyes, you can no longer be the same, and you can't look at things the same, and you can't keep doing the same things that you used to do. Think about it on today. What is it in your life that you've been up and down with? What is it up in your life that you've been struggling with? Maybe you know it's wrong. Maybe you don't know it's wrong. Or maybe you think it's wrong. And it's some things that you already know that you need to leave alone. Go to God. Seek God. To have a true relationship with the true and living God. And you can know when your eyes close, you will be greeted by him and you will not have to depart from him. So I always remember my closing. Self-examination is the best examination, and Jesus Christ is Lord, and he's all we have. Have a great rest of the day.